What's going on, guys? Ace Yugioh here. So today I'm actually bringing you a dinosaur deck breakdown. In this deck breakdown, it's a little bit more in depth on a deck profile, but it's explaining more on the ratios, explaining to the beginners, what some of the cards do, what are the more sensitive hit points on the deck, and different alternatives to be able to play in the deck. And that way, after practicing, after watching a few combo tutorials, practicing different lines of play, they are able to see some type of way of a success at their locals or on Dueling Book or with their friends, because you are able to pick this deck up for relatively, I would say, probably around $250 is a decent budget. Now for beginners, if you don't want to play that or pay that amount, then I completely understand. Then you're able to, there are a deck like Cyber Dragons, which you're able to pick up for a little bit cheaper, just because a lot of their cards are going to be in commons. But a deck like this, I would say a decent amount for this deck is $250. Now I am going to give you alternatives to try to make that a little bit more affordable, a little bit less than $250. But I am going to explain all the cards and what some of they do and different alternatives for the deck itself. So going into Soul Eating Oviraptor. Soul Eating Oviraptor is the heart and soul for the deck. This card does search out any dinosaur monster in the deck that you may need. Also, it then does pop another monster, one dino on the board that's level 4 or lower, and special summon any level or any dinosaur monster from the graveyard. This is the heart and soul for the deck. This is your combo starter. This plus Baby Archosaurs. This plays Fossil Big, this plays Lost World, is combo all the time. And then going into miscellaneous, I do miss this card at 3. This card at 3 was like a god card at 3 because you're able to protect your UCT, slowly lock your opponent out from playing the game, and it was a madhouse. It was so much fun at 3. Now the protection effect isn't once per game, once per. During the main phase, quick effect, send this card from your hand. During the main phase, dinosaur monsters you control are unaffected by opponent's activated effects. Then also you can banish any number of dinosaurs from the graveyard, including this card. Special summon one dinosaur monster from your deck. This is, again, a card you always want to protect during your combos because it can get Gamut, it can get DD Crowed, it can get Skullmeister. You want to protect this card at all times. 2 Archosaurs. I did play this at 2. 3 is fine. This card is necessary. It is, I want to say, 45 to 50 apiece. So it is a requirement for the deck, unfortunately. You could try to play this at 1. 1 will probably still be just fine. I do recommend 2, but you can try it at 1 for your newer players who wanted to just pick up one and give it a try. Giant Rex is cuttable. This card, you don't really go into it as much as you used to with the older variant before the Raptor package came out. But however, I still recommend playing this because of Double Evo. Because when you do see it in your opening hand, you have access to Double Evo. It gives you another level 4 to go into your rank 4 plays. 3 babies. This is, in my opinion, is necessary to play at 3 because you go through 2 really quickly in your combos. So having 1 for later in the game is fine. I recommend it. 1 Petite Pterodon. Some people cut this. Some people still play it at 1. Some people play it at 2. I recommend it at 1. 1 Scrap Chimera. The Scrap Engine as a whole, in my opinion, is necessary nowadays because it gives you more lines of play to be able to go into rank 4s. Synchro for 8s. Which you're able to do from your extra deck. But this card is $70. I would say you could probably play Golem as a different alternative. In my opinion, this is better, but some people do play Scrap Golem, which is cheaper than playing Scrap Chimera. So if you want to give that a try, by all means, try it out, see how you like it. 2 Scrap Raptors. This card is pretty cheap. Scrap Raptors is a decent card to play. Is an extender, not a starter. Playing at 2 is fine. I would recommend playing at least 2 because of Just grab Wyvern's effect, which I'll explain that when I get to it. 2 UCTs, he's still the boss monster of the deck. This card, so good to be able to finish up on your combo by playing him. Usually go through about 1 or 2 during your combo, but try to, unless you're OTKing your opponent, just try to play 1 for your combo. 1 Dino Wrestler Frankatops. This card is really good. When this card was at 3, it was insane. But 1 is fine if you go into it off a Petite Pterodon. I recommend playing Overtech because of the spell and trap negation. That you have to blow it up off of Archosaurs, which has 2 double evos instead of 1. So I recommend playing this 2 Ash. You can play cards like Effect Veiler over Ash, or you can play cards like Forbidden Chalice? Yeah, Forbidden Chalice. You can play this over Ash. You can play Ghost Ogre over Ash. For different alternatives than paying, what is it, like $20 a copy for Ash Blossom nowadays. The Gamma package, in my opinion, is necessary because again, the sole purpose of the deck is to protect miscellaneous. So protecting this card is necessary by playing the Gamma package. However, you do not have to play this package. It is just recommended. You can probably pick this whole package up for about $20 or so. But however, again, playing cheaper alternatives like Effect Veilers, Needy Crows, which is in the side, playing Chalice, are all different good alternatives than just playing these specific hand traps. 1 Lantia. Lantia is pretty good in my opinion. There's another hand trap that you can go into for an alternative that you'd be able to play for a little bit cheaper than some other cards. I do recommend at least playing this, at least 1. I play 1 because Dinos exist, Virtuals exist, Tri-Brigades exist, Eldritch exists, Alice and Friends exist. This card is just overall generic and it's really good. It doesn't hit everything, but it's at least there. The 1 driver for the Gamma package, 3 Lost World. They come in a structure deck. 3 Fossil Dicks, comes in structure. 2 double evos. Playing this at 2 is fine because you're always going to need at least 2. 3 is bricky. You don't always want to see this in your opening hand. Playing 2 is just fine. 3 Pot of Prosperities is what I play. Unfortunately, this card is about $100 a piece. But a card I used to play before I picked this up, and I didn't want to pay. Ironically, I didn't want to pay the $65, $70 for Pot of Extravagances for the play set, so I ended up playing Pot of Desires over Extravs. But then I messed around and spent $300 on Prosperity, so this is a cheaper alternative. Playing this at 2 would be fine and bring you down to about 40 cards, depending on what you wanted to play in your deck. But you can pick this setup for about $6 to $10 for Pot of Desires, over spending $300 for Prosperities. Harvey's Feather Duster, you can play this. You can pick this up for a decent price tag, but you're also able to play like Cosmics for cheap. Twins is another alternative. Twin Twisters is another alternative for you to play. You can pick these up for super cheap over just playing the Feather Duster if you can pick these up for a little bit cheaper. I play 3 Droplets, mainly because I love this card. Now this card is about 100 to 150 per copy on this, even with the upcoming reprints and the 1 additional reprint that it does have, being the Ultimate Rare version. You can again play cards like Effect Veiler. You can play cards like Forbidden Chalice. That is a lot cheaper than paying that price tag on Forbidden Droplets. If you have the access, you can play Imperms. You can play so many different other hand traps than just paying out the amounts that these cards do recommend, or these cards that I do have in the deck. You can play this deck how you want to, use different alternatives. You don't have to spend a huge price tag to play this deck. 1 Call Bodygrave. This card has a lot of reprints, so you're able to pick this up for super cheap. Go into the side, evenly matches. Over this, I'd probably recommend Paleo Dynamiscus This card, right now, you can pick it up for super cheap. Going to DD Crows. DD Crows is fine. Again, you can play this over some of the other cards that I play. Cosmics, Backward Disruption, Gust Bells. I recommend this card, but you don't have to play it. Imprimes, again, you can play Effect Veilers. Going into the extra deck, Scrap Wyvern is part of the scrap package now. This card is necessary for the engine. What it does is you can target one scrap monster in your graveyard. Usually it's going to be Scrap Raptor. Special summon it and then destroy one card you control. If another scrap monster is destroyed by a card effect while you control this card, you can special summon one scrap monster from your deck. That is how you would go into Scrap Golem, Scrap Chimera, another scrap monster like Scrap Raptor, and you'll be able to go into them different lines of play. One Omega. Omega is pretty good. You can make this off of Gamma and Driver. You can make this off of Raptor and Obi Raptor. You can make this off of Raptor and any other dinosaur monster that's level 4, but you cannot make it off of Chimera because Chimera is locked into special summoning a synchro scrap monster from the deck. Borlo Savage. I would recommend this. I don't always go into it. It is an additional line of play, but however, you don't need this card. You can play other synchro A monsters like Scarlet Red Dragon, Archfiend. You can get this for super cheap. It'd be a going second option that you'll be able to OTK your opponent with for a 3k beast stick. Interior Beast combo. This takes about 20 cards to get into. I didn't do the combo tutorial for this, but if you guys would like to see the combo tutorial, you can either I can either show it to you on another video, just like, comment, let me know if you want to see it. If not, that's quite alright. I can always show it a little bit later. One Link Karibo, one Secure Gardener, one Nightmare Unicorn, one Access Code. Access Code is not necessary. There are other cards that you can play that you can pick up for a lot cheaper. This card is like $150 right now. So if you want to play or pay the price tag to play it, then go ahead, do what you would like to do. However, different alternatives that you can play is Borlosaur Dragon. This card used to be $100 a pop. Now I'm gonna say it's probably less than 20. With a couple reprints, it has Borlo Dragon again. Used to be super expensive. Now you can probably pick it up for less than 10. Because I do also play another beat stick of BLS. I do like this card. It is easier to get into sometimes over Access Code, but it is there in case if I need it. Pin and stack is necessary to be able to OTK your opponent with UCT. One Logia, one Dalka. If you do not have access to these cards, you are able to play other rank 4s like what is it? Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragon. You can play this. You can also play Dark Requiem to be able to overlay on top of this. You can play the Supreme King. This is another rank 4. You can play a couple different rank 4s. Xyz monster that you'll be able to play. And then Abyss Dweller for Graveyard Disruption. This card you can get for super cheap, and Tornado Dragon for Backdoor Disruption. This card you can get for super cheap. Different alternatives. If you don't have access to these two cards again, you can look up different rank 4s, Xyz monsters, which would be the black extra deck monsters, and then synchro monsters being the white extra deck monsters. You're able to look up different level 8s. You don't have to look up this combo, Materia Beast. If you'd like to see it, please comment, let me know if you like. However, there is one combo that I got this from. You can check out the Cali Effects channel. He actually does a full tutorial of how to get into this line of play. But that is another place you can go check it out from. If you guys did like the dinosaur deck breakdown and different alternatives and going into the different ratios, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell for every time I do an upload. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.